The Adam Project dropped this past weekend.
Mm.
The Adam Project, obviously, drop we were all waiting for. Uh, Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Gardner, Zoe Saldana, Mark Ruffalo. I mean, how could all those people make a bad movie? Dave, did they make a bad movie?
It's not a great movie. This is the second Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds film in as many years. Obviously, coming off the very successful Free Guy that they made together. Now you have the Adam Project, the film that they both kind of resurrected from development hell. At one point, Tom Cruise was supposed to be in this movie, written a while ago. And they'll continue their relationship soon because Levy seems to be circling Deadpool 3, which is gaining some traction. Which Levy, not too experienced in R-rated stuff, but hard to deny the creative chemistry he seems to be developing with Ryan Reynolds. So why not? But yeah, the Adam Project, not something I think anyone was super clamoring for investing. On the other hand, original, blockbustery, fair science fiction movie. Always commendable that something got made original that they spent a semblance of a budget on. So I give it all that kind of credit too. But yeah, I think this is like kind of like a weird like Ryan Reynolds cocktail, this movie. Whereas I enjoyed Free Guy and I really appreciated like the gaming culture and all the beats it had and breaking the fourth wall. I quite enjoyed Free Guy. This and I even liked him in Red Notice, even though Red Notice also a middling movie. Like I liked Red Notice, sue me, but like the Adam Project, I feel like this is like almost taking the wrong lessons, or at least taking the Ryan Reynolds overall a little bit too far. Like when you have like the little kid really laying down like Ryan Reynolds banter, I know he's supposed to be the same character, but having the little kid, the kid actor, also just trying to act like Ryan Reynolds, for me it was like too much. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt myself at certain points this movie being like, this is some of the dumbest shit I feel like I've watched recently, and then other points being like, oh, that was actually pretty good. I kind of liked that. It's like such a mishmash of so many different genres,
Exactly.
right? You got the father and son, you got the sci-fi action thriller, you have the like dead wife, dead dad type stuff going on, and then you have the hero little kid movie going on. It's just like such an amalgamation. At some points, I just was
Exactly.
like, how many cliches are we going to kind of put into this? And I didn't feel like they did particularly any of them really that great. I guess the sci-fi looked okay at points, although the de aging on what's her name, Catherine Keener or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah, Catherine Keener was a little off putting at points. So I don't know, didn't totally work for me, but um, I guess I just kind of left being like, that movie is a lot. And when you
Mm.
talk about this being like the epitome of Ryan Reynolds is a lot. And so if you're
Yep.
going to lean into him being the star and building the whole movie around him, I guess we got what they wanted. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people will like this movie to be a mindless, like, turn your brain off and just kind of enjoy the fake lightsabers and the time travel aspect and like the one liners. But overall, I just kind of like, why did Mark Ruffalo do this? Like, I get why Ryan Reynolds did it, but like, why would like some of these better actors sign on for this?
Well, on the other hand, like when Saldana shows up, I believe Led Zeppelin
Cool
was
scene.
roaring, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
they had good music drops.
yeah, when she shows up, like she has her intro into the movie, I was like, oh, you know what? It's great to see her without green face paint for once.
Yeah,
Good
it
actor,
is.
cool. Oh, and I'm for this double for Mark Ruffalo. Also nice to not see him green. You know,
Hmm.
cool. They're working. But
Yeah,
like,
good point.
but like, I think yeah, you said it the way I said it too. Like I think the mixture is just wrong with this film. Like it's like the sci-fi dystopian future stuff is just super undefined and like way too nebulous for a movie that has like this much like hard sci-fi in it.
Yep.
And I think the action actually isn't bad. I think it looks good, but like, or at least looks good enough. Like it's well lit, you know. But like the story, like it's just so much exposition that like at Ryan Reynolds' mile a minute dialogue, it's like it's really hard to follow. And like the kid also is doing the same kind of dialogue back to him, so it's like a lot to follow, even though it's not complicated. It's not like some intricate thing, but it's just like they're communicating it in a weird way. I guess I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I like the beginning more because like at its most conventional, right? Like you go on the chase,
Mhm.
and Saldana does like the last stand, sacrifices herself so they can escape. Like I enjoyed that stuff. That's fine, you know, having Zoe like shoot a machine gun at the dudes and blow up their car
Mhm.
and stuff. I'm like, yeah, cool. I've seen this before, but it's fine. But the wholesome moments, you know, with like once the dad comes back and the fro Ruffalo shows up, it's like a lot of that too was just a little bit up and down. You know, like it's pretty thankless Jennifer Garner turn, even though they're really trying to like hit you with some like family beats there. So you know, it's all right, but it's like weirdly like it's not ambitious, but like it's like muddled in like a mixed up cocktail to suggest it's super ambitious. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. I mean, there are some moments I definitely liked. I do think Walker Scobell, basically being told to do a Ryan Reynolds impression, does a pretty
Yeah,
good job. So
good
I
for him.
was, yeah, I was pretty impressed with him. Like you said, I think a lot of stuff with Saldana, like the action scenes with her, um, the, just injects an energy into things, and I think Ruffalo gets some nice moments. I think Jennifer Gardner, uh, very thankless role, just kind of being like the sad mom in all of this. I guess gets a nice like scene with Ryan Reynolds at that bar, but I don't know. That kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies at times, like weird vibes, because I think she thought the guy was like hitting on her, which just a strange thing to think about. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
Back
know
to the
who?
Future, basically.
Yeah, great point with probably what they were going for. Now that I think about it. Anyways, the biggest like nothing burger in this whole thing had to have been Christos, right? Alex Malari Jr. just kind of like showing up to be the guy like Catherine Keener's right hand man who just like
Yeah, it's a
kicks
heavy.
ass all the time and then just gets murked like super easily at the end. I was like, oh man, thankless, thankless stuff. And then also the way that the Catherine Keener from the past dies. I thought it was so lame. I don't know. Like I wish that the Catherine Keener from the past had to make a decision and chooses to kill herself. You know, like or I guess her future self as a way of like stopping whatever, however things go. Like I, I'm not advocating for them to like show a suicide in here, but like to make some choice where like that character has some redemption would have made so much more sense than that character shooting a bullet that gets taken by this magnet and then kills her past self. Like, and then just like all the timeline, uh, like repercussions. I don't know. Didn't make any sense to me. So, not my favorite movie, Dave. Any last thoughts on this?
No, no, it's all good. You know, watch it if you want. I don't know.